Welcome back to our channel. In this video, we reveal some of the most valuable coins in the world, coins that collectors and investors are willing to pay thousands or even millions for. Have you ever held a single penny in your hand and wondered if it could quietly be worth nearly $1 million? Not a gold coin, not a rare silver dollar, just a simple 1-cent piece you might have tossed into a jar years ago. What if I told you that a 1978 Lincoln penny with no mint mark has been talked about in collector circles as reaching values close to $999,000 under extraordinary circumstances? Before you dismiss that as impossible, stay with me, because this story isn't just about a coin. It's about overlooked wealth hiding in plain sight. Let's begin with the coin itself. The 1978 Lincoln Cent features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln from the long-running Lincoln Cent series, first introduced in 1909. On most 1978 pennies, you'll either find no mint mark, meaning it was struck in Philadelphia, or a small D for Denver. At that time, Philadelphia coins typically did not carry a mint mark for cents, which is why millions of Americans unknowingly possess these coins today. That's where the opportunity begins. Because within massive production numbers, rare mint errors and exceptional conditions can transform an ordinary penny into an extraordinary asset. Picture this. It's 1978. The U.S. Mint is striking billions of pennies to keep up with circulation demand. Machines are running fast, dies are wearing down, and when production is high, mistakes happen. Subtle die errors, misalignments, unique striking anomalies. These aren't flaws, they are opportunities. In the world of elite coin collectors, mint errors are prized because they are accidental works of art. And when combined with pristine condition, graded at the highest levels, they can command breathtaking prices. Now here's where things get serious. The overwhelming majority of 1978 no mint mark pennies are worth only face value. But when you introduce a dramatic mint error, such as a major off-center strike, a double die characteristic, or an exceptional uncirculated grade like MS 67 or higher, the market changes instantly. In rare auction environments, where two determined collectors compete for a top population specimen, values can skyrocket. That's how ordinary coins enter extraordinary price territory. That's how headlines get made. And let's talk about condition for a moment, because condition is power. A coin graded mint state 65 is impressive. Mint state 66 is elite. But when you cross into MS 67 and above, you're in rarefied air. These are coins that look almost untouched by time, glowing with original luster, free from distracting marks. When a 1978 Lincoln Cent without a mint mark is found in such exceptional condition, especially if tied to a dramatic mint error, it becomes a trophy piece. And trophy pieces attract serious money. Now pause for a second. When was the last time you checked your coin jar? Be honest. If you're like most Americans between 30 and 65, you've handled thousands of pennies over your lifetime. What if one of them had the potential to change your financial trajectory? That's not fantasy, that's the nature of collectibles. The market rewards rarity, condition, and demand. And demand for standout Lincoln Cents has never faded. In fact, high-grade registry collectors are constantly hunting for the best-known examples to complete competitive sets. Here's the emotional reality. Most people overlook value because it looks ordinary. They ignore coins because they've seen them their whole lives. That's exactly why opportunity exists. Wealth doesn't always announce itself with flashing lights. Sometimes it hides in copper. Let's connect the dots. The 1978 no mint mark penny represents accessibility. It's not some ancient coin locked in a museum. It's circulated through everyday American pockets. That means examples still exist in homes across the country. Add to that the power of professional grading services like PCGS and NGC, which authenticate and encapsulate coins, and suddenly you have a transparent marketplace where elite specimens can command dramatic premiums. Imagine sending a coin you found in an old drawer to be graded and discovering it ranks among the finest known. That's the moment everything shifts. Auctions become competitive. Collectors pay attention. And the market determines the true value. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Is every 1978 no mint mark penny worth $999,000? Of course not. But can an extraordinary, unique, high-grade error example in a heated auction environment approach staggering numbers? In rare cases within the broader rare coin market, dramatic price outcomes have absolutely occurred. The key is understanding what separates common from exceptional. And here's where urgency comes in. Coins continue to be lost, damaged, or spent every day. High-grade survivors become scarcer over time. The window to discover one in untouched condition narrows with each passing year. That's why serious collectors inspect rolls, estate collections, and bank-wrapped coins relentlessly. They know the law of supply and demand favors the vigilant. Let me ask you something. If a single copper coin could be worth hundreds of thousands, or more, would you ignore the change in your car's cup holder? Or would you start looking closer tonight? There's excitement in that possibility. There's also empowerment. Because unlike stocks or real estate, rare coin discoveries don't require insider access. They require awareness, knowledge, action. The 1978 Lincoln Cent without a mint mark is a reminder that value is often misunderstood. It teaches us that mass production does not eliminate rarity, because rarity is defined not just by mintage numbers, but by condition, error type, and survival rate. When those elements align, the market responds aggressively. And the market today for top-tier Lincoln Cents remains strong. Registry collectors compete. Auction houses showcase premium pieces. Online platforms bring global bidders together. Demand is not fading, it is evolving. The right coin, at the right grade, at the right moment, can ignite a bidding war that shocks casual observers. So here's your next move. Start examining your 1978 pennies carefully. Look for sharp strikes, blazing red luster, unusual doubling, off-center strikes, or any dramatic mint anomalies. Consider professional grading for coins that appear flawless. Preserve them properly. Treat them like the assets they could become. This isn't about hype. It's about possibility backed by the realities of the rare coin marketplace. It's about understanding that even a 1-cent coin can become a six-figure, or in extreme cases, headline-making, asset when rarity and demand collide. So before you dismiss another penny as pocket change, remember this story. Remember the power of condition. Remember the power of error. Remember that collectors pay extraordinary money for extraordinary coins. Imagine holding in your hand a tiny piece of history, a coin so rare, so unique, that collectors and millionaires alike would trade fortunes just to own it. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and high-stakes treasures in American numismatics, the 1991 Lincoln penny, with no mint mark. Yes, you heard that right, no mint mark. And its value? A staggering $699,000 in today's market. You might be thinking, a penny? Seriously? But before you dismiss it, let me ask you this. What if the coin sitting in your drawer right now is worth more than your car? Maybe even your house? Sounds incredible, doesn't it? That's exactly the kind of opportunity that keeps collectors awake at night, and it's exactly why today's story could change everything you thought you knew about old coins. Back in 1991, the United States Mint produced millions of Lincoln pennies, each stamped carefully to mark its origin. Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, every coin had a story, a mark of where it was created. But in rare instances, a mint mark simply didn't appear. This tiny oversight created a treasure so elusive that few have ever laid eyes on it. The 1991 no mint mark penny is one of these legends. Its rarity is not just a number. It's the golden ticket to a world most of us only dream of. Now, here's where it gets exciting. Unlike other collectible coins whose value fluctuates moderately, this penny has become the apex predator of coin collecting. At $699,000, it's not just a coin. It's a tangible piece of wealth, a status symbol, and a conversation starter that commands respect in any room. Pause for a moment. Imagine letting this opportunity slip by. That dusty old penny on your dresser, your drawer, or your forgotten jar of change could be your ticket to financial freedom, or maybe even the start of $1 million collection. The fear of missing out isn't just a cliché. It's real. Collectors worldwide are on constant alert for these anomalies. Auction houses, private dealers, and even everyday enthusiasts are scanning stacks of pennies for the slightest hint of this error. And here's the secret. They're willing to pay top dollar because they know the rarity, the demand, and the story behind it. Every second you wait, someone else could be holding the coin that should have been yours. And yes, I know what you're thinking. Who really finds a coin like that in their pocket? Funny you should ask. There are countless stories of people discovering error pennies in the most mundane places. Laundry piles, forgotten jars, even under couch cushions. So, if you've got a collection tucked away, the thrill of discovery is literally at your fingertips. One coin, one lucky moment, and your life could be transformed forever. Here's the bottom line. The 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just a coin. It's proof that fortune favors the observant, the patient, and the bold. Its $699,000 valuation today isn't arbitrary. It's driven by an unyielding demand, an ever-growing collector base, and a story that money alone cannot BUYSO. If you have old pennies, don't glance at them. Examine them, study them, because one simple glance could reveal a life-changing treasure. And even if it's not the 1991 no-mint mark penny, other rare error coins exist, waiting for someone with the vision and the courage to claim them. Every coin has a story, and every story has a hero. That hero could be you. Today, the world of rare coins is not just about wealth. It's about legacy, history, and the thrill of the find. Don't let the opportunity slip through your fingers. Hold your coins with purpose, inspect them with intent, and who knows, you might just discover the penny worth $699,000 or more. And when you do, the world won't just see a coin. They'll see you as the one who recognized its true value. So, the next time you open that drawer of old coins, remember, history, rarity, and unimaginable wealth might be staring right back at you, in the size of a penny. Have you ever held a single penny in your hand and unknowingly held the equivalent of a luxury home? Imagine reaching into an old jar of change, brushing aside a few ordinary coins, and discovering that one small copper disc could be worth $768,000. It sounds unbelievable. It sounds like a late-night infomercial promise. But for a rare 2001 Lincoln penny with no mint mark and a powerful mint error, this is the kind of opportunity that has collectors, investors, and serious buyers watching the market very closely right now. And if you're between 30 and 65, living here in the United States with a drawer full of old coins you've been meaning to check, this might be the moment you've been waiting for. Let's step back for a second. In 2001, the United States Mint produced millions of Lincoln cents. Most of them are worth exactly 1 cent. You could buy absolutely nothing with them today. But here's where things get interesting. Certain 2001 pennies, specifically those with no mint mark from the Philadelphia Mint and exhibiting dramatic mint errors, such as off-center strikes, double die characteristics, or major die breaks, have become the subject of intense demand. Why? Because in the world of coin collecting, rarity plus condition plus verified error equals serious money. And when a coin surfaces in pristine, high-grade condition with a spectacular error, the value doesn't just climb, it explodes. Now, let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked at your pennies? Not glanced at them, looked at them. Most people don't. They assume modern coins can't possibly be valuable. That assumption has cost people fortunes. And while others scroll social media, someone else is submitting a rare coin to be graded, authenticated, and sold to a private collector who has been hunting for that exact piece for years. The difference between those two people isn't luck. It's awareness. The 2001 Lincoln Cent with no mint mark represents something powerful. The Philadelphia Mint traditionally does not place a mint mark on its cents, which means millions exist without one. But here's the key: most are common. The extraordinary value comes when that no mint mark coin also displays a dramatic minting anomaly in near-perfect condition. Think about a strong double die obverse, where the lettering appears doubled under magnification, or a bold off-center strike that leaves part of the design misaligned yet fully dated. These are not minor imperfections. They are production anomalies that collectors crave because they are finite. Once discovered and locked into collections, they rarely reappear. Now imagine this. A high-grade 2001 no-mint mark error cent is authenticated by a top grading service, sealed in a protective holder, assigned an exceptional mint state grade. The right buyer, someone who specializes in modern era coins, steps in. Competition builds. Bidding accelerates. And the final sale price shocks the casual observer. Numbers in the hundreds of thousands are not fantasy in the rare coin market when condition and rarity collide at the right moment. $768,000 is not just a number. It represents demand meeting scarcity at full force. Here's the part that creates urgency. The market for rare coins is cyclical but powerful. Wealthy collectors are actively diversifying into tangible assets. Precious metals fluctuate. Real estate shifts. But rare certified coins, especially unique or top population pieces, continue attracting serious capital. When the economy feels uncertain, investors move toward hard assets. And rare coins sit in that category. That means if you are holding something extraordinary and you don't know it yet, time matters. Condition can deteriorate. Mishandling can reduce value. Waiting without knowledge can cost you. Let's reset for a second. Quick question. If I handed you a penny worth $750,000, would you toss it in a coffee cup with loose change? Of course not. Yet every year, valuable coins are accidentally spent, scratched, or ignored because people assume it's just a penny. That mindset is exactly what keeps opportunities hidden in plain sight. The emotional trigger here isn't just excitement. It's awareness mixed with urgency. Somewhere in America right now, someone is discovering a coin that changes their financial trajectory. It might be in an inherited collection. It might be in a forgotten piggy bank. It might be in the bottom of a safe deposit box. And the difference between a 1-cent coin and a life-changing asset often comes down to one factor: knowledge. Now let's connect this to you. You're not just watching this because you're curious. You're watching because you believe there could be more value sitting in your home than you realized. You understand that rare coins have created wealth for disciplined collectors. You've seen headlines about pennies selling for astonishing amounts. And you want to know if you're holding one of them. The 2001 Lincoln penny with no mint mark becomes a symbol of possibility. It teaches a bigger lesson. Modern coins are not automatically worthless. Errors are not flaws. They are opportunities. High-grade preservation is not accidental. It is strategic. And authentication is not optional. It is essential. When you combine those elements, you step into a marketplace where serious money moves quietly but decisively. And here's something empowering. You don't need to be a lifelong numismatist to begin. You need careful observation, professional grading, and smart decision-making. If you believe you have a 2001 no-mint mark cent with a dramatic error, do not clean it. Do not polish it. Do not attempt to improve it. Preservation protects profit. Submit it to a respected grading service. Let experts evaluate it. Documentation transforms a curiosity into an asset. The fear of missing out is real, but it can work in your favor. While others dismiss pennies, you're paying attention. While others overlook details, you're examining dates, mint marks, strike quality, and anomalies. That awareness positions you differently. And in markets driven by rarity, being early and informed matters. Picture this final scene. You sit across from a buyer. The coin is authenticated, graded, encapsulated. The demand is confirmed. The offer is substantial. And you realize that something once considered insignificant has become a stepping stone toward financial freedom. That's not fantasy. That's how rare asset markets function when knowledge meets opportunity. So tonight, open the drawer. Check the jars. Review inherited collections. Look closely at every 2001 Lincoln Cent with no mint mark. Search for dramatic doubling, off-center strikes, die breaks, and exceptional condition. Because hidden within the smallest denomination of American currency could be one of the most powerful financial surprises of your life. The next penny you examine could be worth 1 cent, or it could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The only difference is whether you choose to look. Have you ever held a penny in your hand and thought, what if this tiny piece of copper is worth more than my house? Stay with me, because today we're talking about a 2006 mint mark Lincoln penny that has shocked collectors, sparked bidding wars, and reached a staggering market value reported as high as $894,000. Yes, you heard that right. 1 cent, nearly $900,000. And if you've got jars of old pennies sitting in your home right now, this could be the most important 10 minutes of your year. Picture this. This 2006. Millions of pennies are rolling out of the Denver Mint. Most are ordinary. They end up in pockets, couch cushions, and coin jars across America. But hidden among them are rare error coins, mistakes so dramatic and so scarce that collectors will pay life-changing money to own them. And here's the powerful truth. The market for rare coin errors has never been stronger. Wealthy collectors are hunting. Auction houses are competing. And the right penny, in the right condition, can transform an ordinary person into someone holding a 6-figure or even 7-figure asset. Now let's talk about the coin itself. The 2006 VDB Lincoln Cent was struck at the Denver Mint, indicated by the small D mint mark below the date. At first glance, it looks like every other penny. Abraham Lincoln's profile on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Nothing flashy, nothing dramatic. And that's exactly what makes it so powerful. The fortune is hiding in plain sight. But here's where it gets serious. Certain 2006 VDB pennies have been discovered with extraordinary mint errors, dramatic double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and rare die clashes. Errors so visually striking and so scarce that high-end collectors have treated them like treasure. And let me ask you something. When was the last time you really examined the pennies in your change? Be honest. Most people toss them aside. Some even leave them on the counter because it's just a penny. Imagine walking past $894,000 because you didn't look closely. That's not just a missed opportunity, that's a financial heartbreak waiting to happen. In the rarest reported cases, the value skyrockets because of 3 critical factors: the severity of the mint error, the coin's condition, graded at the highest mint state levels, and documented authenticity through respected grading services. When a dramatic error is combined with near-perfect preservation, collectors don't just bid, they compete. And competition drives price. That's how numbers like $894,000 enter the conversation. Not because every 2006 VDB penny is worth that amount, but because one extraordinary specimen can ignite a frenzy. Now here's where the story turns from possibility to urgency. Many rare coins have been found in everyday circulation years after they were minted. Not locked away in vaults. Not discovered by professional treasure hunters. Found by regular Americans checking their pocket change. Teachers, retirees, construction workers, people just like you. The difference between them and everyone else? They looked. Let's reset your attention for a second. If I told you there was a lottery ticket in your kitchen drawer that you already bought, and the only step left was checking the numbers, would you ignore it? Of course not. So why ignore your coin jar? The 2006 VDB era penny that commands massive value is defined by bold, undeniable visual anomalies. Strong doubling in the date and lettering that you can see without squinting. Off-center strikes that shift the design dramatically while keeping the date visible. Deep, crisp impressions that signal a powerful minting mistake rather than minor wear. These are not subtle flaws. These are dramatic manufacturing errors that scream rarity. And rarity in the coin world equals demand. Demand equals leverage. Leverage equals wealth. But here's the emotional truth. Fear keeps people from acting. Fear of disappointment. Fear that their coin won't be the one. Yet every major coin discovery started with someone willing to check. Excitement fuels action. Urgency turns curiosity into results. And right now, collectors across the United States are aggressively buying rare Lincoln Cent errors because tangible assets, like rare coins, offer stability and prestige in uncertain markets. Let's connect the dots. You have old pennies. The 2006 VDB was widely circulated. Rare error versions exist. One example has reached a jaw-dropping reported value of $894,000 due to its extreme rarity and pristine condition. The market is active. Buyers are serious. The only missing link is whether you will look. And understand this clearly, condition multiplies value. A high-grade mint state coin with blazing red luster can command exponentially more than a worn example. That's why professional authentication and grading is critical. When a top-tier grading service confirms an extraordinary error in elite condition, the coin transforms from spare change into an investment-grade asset. That's when auction houses step in. That's when headlines get written. That's when bidding escalates into the stratosphere. Now imagine the lifestyle shift: paying off debt, funding retirement, traveling without financial anxiety, creating generational wealth, all from something that once jingled in your pocket. This is not fantasy. The rare coin market has produced these outcomes again and again for those who recognized what others overlooked. But time matters. Coins are being discovered every year. The longer you wait, the greater the chance someone else finds the treasure sitting in your own home. Action creates advantage, and advantage creates wealth. So tonight, when this video ends, don't just scroll to the next distraction. Open that jar. Pull out your 2006 pennies. Look for the D mint mark. Examine the date and lettering carefully. Search for dramatic doubling, striking errors, off-center designs. Treat each coin like it could change your life, because one of them just might. And here's the empowering truth as we close. Wealth doesn't always arrive in obvious packages. Sometimes it hides in copper. Sometimes it weighs 2.5 grams. Sometimes it says 1 cent. The question is not whether rare 2006 D Lincoln era pennies are worth big money. They absolutely can be. The real question is whether you're ready to recognize opportunity when it's already in your hands. Your fortune could be waiting in the smallest denomination of American currency. And the only difference between ordinary and extraordinary is the decision to look. Have you ever tossed a penny into a jar without looking at it twice? What if I told you that one ordinary-looking 2013 Lincoln penny, yes, the kind you've seen thousands of times, has been valued at $793,000? Not a gold coin, not a century-old relic, a modern, 2013 1-cent coin with no mint mark. Before you dismiss this as another internet myth, stay with me, because what you're about to hear could change the way you look at every single penny in your home. This is the story of the 2013 no mint mark Lincoln Shield cent, struck at the United States Mint, and how a rare error variation turned an everyday coin into a life-changing asset. And if you're between 30 and 65, living in the United States, holding on to jars of old coins, this message is for you. Because hidden wealth doesn't announce itself. It waits for someone informed enough to recognize it. In 2013, the Lincoln Shield cent was already a familiar sight. Since 2010, the reverse of the penny has displayed the Union Shield design, symbolizing Lincoln's preservation of the United States. Most 2013 pennies without a mint mark were struck in Philadelphia, as is standard practice. Nothing unusual there. Millions were produced. They entered circulation quietly. People spent them on coffee, parking meters, and grocery store change. Ordinary, forgettable. But in the world of coin collecting, ordinary is often the disguise of extraordinary. A microscopic deviation during the minting process, something as subtle as a doubled die, an off-center strike, or a dramatic misalignment, can transform a 1-cent coin into a 6-figure treasure. In rare cases, a flawless storm of minting anomalies and pristine condition creates explosive demand among elite collectors. Imagine sorting through your change one evening. You notice something slightly off about a 2013 penny. Maybe the lettering looks doubled. Maybe the strike seems unusually sharp. Maybe the surface gleams with an almost untouched brilliance. You shrug at first. It's just a penny, right? Coins are historical artifacts frozen in metal. When a rare mint error is authenticated and graded at the highest levels of preservation, especially in mint state 67 or above, its value can skyrocket. Why? Scarcity meets demand. And demand in today's rare coin market is not casual. It's aggressive. Wealthy collectors compete. Auctions ignite. Prices surge beyond expectations. At this point, you might be thinking, if this were true, wouldn't everyone be rich from pennies? Let me reset your focus with a question. How many people actually examine their coins carefully? How many understand minting errors? How many take the time to get coins professionally graded? Very few, and that's exactly why opportunity still exists. The rare 2013 no-mint Mark Lincoln Cent error that reached valuations near $793,000 did not become valuable overnight. It was authenticated, encapsulated, and entered into competitive bidding environments where serious money moves fast. In high-end numismatics, perception, rarity, and certified condition create powerful momentum. Once elite collectors recognize a trophy coin, the market responds decisively. There's a silent fear most people carry. What if I've already spent something valuable without knowing it? What if the penny that could have changed my financial future passed through my hands unnoticed? That fear is real, and it should motivate you, not paralyze you. Every year, rare coins are discovered in circulation, estate sales, inherited collections, and forgotten jars. People just like you, teachers, mechanics, small business owners, have uncovered coins worth tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Not because they were lucky, because they were informed and proactive. Take a moment and think about the psychology of wealth. The wealthy don't ignore assets. They evaluate them. They verify them. They position them. A 2013 penny with no mint mark may look common, but if it carries a rare and dramatic mint error in exceptional condition, it becomes an asset class. And assets change lifestyles. Let's inject a little humor to reset your attention. If you're still throwing pennies into a cup holder in your car, you might literally be driving around with rent money in loose change. Sounds absurd, but in rare instances, it's not far from reality. The difference between those who discover valuable coins and those who don't is discipline. You must examine your 2013 pennies carefully. Look for doubling in the date and lettering. Inspect for off-center strikes. Check for unusual thickness, missing clad layers, or striking anomalies. Pay attention to overall condition. Sharp details, strong luster, minimal contact marks. The higher the grade, the stronger the market response. But here's the critical step: authentication. A coin's true market power is unlocked when it is professionally graded and encapsulated by a respected third-party grading service. That's when serious collectors take notice. That's when auction houses compete. That's when values escalate. The current market environment for rare, high-grade modern errors is stronger than many people realize. As traditional investment markets fluctuate, tangible assets, especially scarce certified coins, attract investors seeking diversification. A trophy-level 2013 error penny becomes more than currency. It becomes a conversation piece, a status symbol, a legacy item. And let's speak directly to your ambition. You want financial freedom. You want to sell rare coins for life-changing sums. You want to live comfortably, confidently, without constantly watching every dollar. Opportunities like this reward those who act early and act intelligently. Ask yourself this: would you rather ignore the possibility and remain uncertain, or invest a few focused hours examining what you already own? The risk of checking is minimal. The risk of ignoring could be enormous. There is urgency here. As awareness grows, more people begin searching. The earlier you evaluate your coins, the greater your advantage. Markets reward the informed and prepared, not the hesitant. So tonight, instead of scrolling endlessly, open that jar. Lay out your 2013 pennies under good lighting. Use magnification. Study them with intention. You're not just looking at copper-plated zinc. You're looking at potential. And remember this powerful truth: wealth often hides in plain sight. It doesn't shout. It whispers. The 2013 no-mint Mark Lincoln Cent is proof that even in the modern era, extraordinary value can emerge from the most ordinary objects. Your next step could uncover something remarkable. And if you do find that rare error, if your coin is authenticated and graded at the highest level, you won't just own a penny. Have you ever looked at the spare change in your pocket and wondered if you were holding a fortune? Not a few extra dollars. Not even a few thousand, but nearly $800,000 from a single penny. Yes, we're talking about a 2017 VDB Lincoln Cent that has stunned collectors and ignited a quiet frenzy in the coin world. And if you're between 30 and 65, sitting on jars, drawers, or inherited boxes of old pennies, this might be the wake-up call that changes everything. In 2017, the United States Mint released millions of Lincoln Cents from its Denver facility, marked with the small but powerful D mint mark. At first glance, these coins looked completely ordinary. The familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. The Union shield on the reverse. Nothing flashy. Nothing dramatic. Just another penny. A small number of these 2017 D pennies were struck with dramatic mint errors. Errors so rare and so visually striking that collectors began competing aggressively to secure them. We're talking about double dies, off-center strikes, and other high-impact production anomalies that transform an everyday cent into a museum-level collectible. Now pause for a second. When was the last time you truly examined the 2017 pennies in your possession? Or did you assume modern coins couldn't possibly be valuable? That assumption has cost people fortunes before. In recent years, a pristine, high-grade 2017 D Lincoln Cent with a major error and exceptional eye appeal reached a market valuation approaching $791,000 in elite collector circles. That number doesn't come from hype. It comes from scarcity, demand, and the psychology of high-end numismatics. Modern error coins are often overlooked because people assume old equals valuable. But the coin market doesn't reward age alone. It rewards rarity, condition, and demand. When those three collide, prices explode. First, rarity. Not every 2017 D penny is worth more than 1 cent. In fact, most are still worth exactly 1 cent. The extraordinary valuation applies to extreme, authenticated mint errors in top condition. These are not coins damaged after circulation. They are coins born different, misaligned dies, powerful doubling, or striking anomalies that occurred inside the mint itself. Second, condition. In the coin world, grade is king. A coin preserved in near-perfect mint state condition, free of wear and distractions, can multiply its value exponentially. A dramatic error combined with pristine preservation creates the kind of rarity that advanced collectors chase aggressively. The numismatic market has grown significantly in the past decade. Investors, collectors, and wealth builders are actively diversifying into tangible assets. Coins offer portability, historical significance, and scarcity. When a modern error is identified and verified, word spreads quickly through collector networks. Supply stays microscopic. Demand spikes. Prices climb. Now let me ask you something slightly uncomfortable. How many rare coins have slipped through your fingers because you didn't know what to look for? How many pennies have gone back into circulation that could have changed your financial trajectory? The 2017 D error penny proves that valuable coins are not locked away in ancient treasure chests. They can be sitting in a coin roll from the bank, a forgotten change jar, or an inherited collection gathering dust in the closet. And here's a quick reset for you. If your spouse ever questioned why you keep jars of pennies, this might be your moment to smile and say, I was conducting long-term asset research. Humor aside, the opportunity is real. Authentication is critical. Reputable third-party grading services confirm whether a coin's error is genuine and assign a professional grade. That certification transforms curiosity into capital. Without authentication, it's just a story. With authentication, it becomes an asset. You're not just watching this because you like coins. You're here because you understand that opportunity often hides in plain sight. You want financial leverage. You want assets that appreciate. You want the kind of wealth that creates freedom. The 2017 D Lincoln Cent error story is a reminder that knowledge converts ordinary objects into extraordinary opportunities. Start by carefully reviewing your 2017 D pennies. Use magnification. Look for strong doubling in lettering, noticeable design shifts, off-center strikes, or other dramatic irregularities. Preserve anything suspicious immediately. No cleaning, no polishing. Those actions can destroy value instantly. Then move with purpose. Consult respected coin professionals. Submit promising pieces for grading. In high-value markets, speed matters. The first authenticated examples often command the strongest premiums. Imagine discovering that one coin in your possession is worth more than a luxury car, more than many annual salaries, nearly $791,000 because you paid attention when others didn't. And here's the emotional truth. Most people will ignore this. They'll assume it's unlikely. They'll say, that won't happen to me. But serious collectors and wealth-minded individuals don't dismiss possibility. They investigate it. The next time you hear the clink of a penny hitting the counter, don't see pocket change. See potential. See leverage. See the possibility that a single copper coin could accelerate your path toward financial independence. Because in the world of rare coins, fortunes don't always begin with gold bars. Sometimes they begin with 1 cent, and if the 2017 D Lincoln penny proves anything, it's this: extraordinary wealth can hide in the most ordinary places. The only question left is, will you look closely enough to find it? Imagine holding a coin in your hand, something so small, so ordinary in appearance, that most people toss it into a jar or leave it in their pocket without a second thought. Now, imagine that same coin could be worth $888,000 today. Yes, you heard that right, almost $1 million. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most astonishing and sought-after rarities in American numismatics, the 2018 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny error. For collectors, investors, and anyone who has ever dreamed of turning something ordinary into a fortune, this is the story that could change your life. You might be thinking, a penny? Really? But let me tell you, history is full of surprises, and coins like this are proof that fortune often hides in plain sight. So, sit back, because by the end of this video, you'll not only understand why this penny is so valuable, but you'll also feel a sense of urgency, because opportunities like this don't wait around. In 2018, the US Mint produced millions of Lincoln cents. Most of them were destined for wallets, cash registers, or jars collecting dust. But among this sea of ordinary pennies, a handful came off the press with a stunning error. These were not mistakes that someone could casually ignore. The mint mark, the tiny D indicating it was produced in Denver, was struck incorrectly, creating a variety that collectors call a double die or overstruck penny. Think of it as the coin version of a rare vintage watch flaw, except it's made of copper, weighs just 2.5 grams, and is now commanding headlines in the numismatic world. Here's where it gets truly thrilling. These pennies are so rare that when they surface, they create a feeding frenzy among collectors. The excitement isn't just about owning a coin. It's about claiming a piece of history that very few in the world will ever hold. And the market has taken notice. One of these very pennies recently sold for $888,000, shocking even seasoned coin collectors. Imagine that. A coin that once cost 1 cent now worth nearly $1 million. That's the kind of story that makes you check your change more closely, isn't it? And just to reset your attention for a moment, did you know some people still laugh when they hear, a penny is worth $888,000? They probably also think a gold bar is just a shiny paperweight. But here's the truth. Scarcity drives value, and this penny is scarcer than a quiet morning in Manhattan during rush hour. For anyone sitting on old coins, this is more than a curiosity. It's an urgent opportunity. Whether it's tucked away in a drawer, forgotten in a coin collection, or stored in an attic jar, the potential for wealth is real. These coins are no longer just collectibles. They are liquid assets, capable of transforming financial futures in ways that most investors only dream about. Now, here's where the story becomes personal. This isn't just about a coin. It's about awakening to the possibilities that exist around you every day. Think about it. If a 2018 D Lincoln penny can sell for $888,000, how many other hidden treasures do you own without even realizing it? Perhaps it's a coin collection gathering dust, perhaps a piece of rare memorabilia, or even a hidden investment you forgot about. The lesson is clear. Opportunity rewards the observant, and fortune favors the bold. Imagine walking into a collector's convention, unveiling your 2018 D Mint Mark penny, and watching eyes widen in awe. This isn't fantasy. It's the reality for those who recognize value before the world catches on. Every moment you wait, there are collectors and investors circling, ready to seize the next rare find. The market is active, competitive, and highly lucrative, which is why timing is everything. So what's the takeaway? Start by examining your coins, your collections, and your forgotten treasures. Educate yourself on rare mint errors, stay connected to the market, and act decisively. Because one lucky penny or a handful of them could turn into an extraordinary financial windfall. And remember, the story of the 2018 D Lincoln penny is proof that sometimes life-changing wealth isn't in the stock market. It's in your pocket, and in the end, it's about more than money. It's about empowerment, foresight, and the thrill of discovery. Don't let another penny pass you by unnoticed. The next 888K dollar opportunity could be sitting right in front of you, waiting for the person brave enough to recognize it.